my crafty friends, and welcome back to my channel. As I said in my last video, we were going to start on a new project. Well, the new project is we're going to make one of these Tim Holtz mini frames here. I have chosen to paint mine gold, and I'm debating on whether I'm going to distress mine with some distress ink and some distress oxides. I'm not sure yet, so that's something we'll play with as we go along. So I'm shooting the male first. I'm making the male framed piece of art first, and then the next time we will get to work with the lovely female art that I chose. And well, that piece buggered off. I'm sure it's here. One of the pieces for that just vanished. So I'm going to set that off to one side. As you can see, my table is very disorganized today, which is usually me anyway. So let me remove some things out of my way. So what the paint color I chose to use for this project is the Deco Art Dazzling Metallics in Glorious Gold. As you can see, I've used this quite a bit. But I like the metallic nature of it. It's just really pretty. So we'll set that off to one side. So what else are you going to need? Or what else are you going to need? Well, you're going to need one of the, as they stick together, one of the Tim Holtz mini, what is this called? The mini framed panel. So this is the base that we're going to use. You're going to need an adhesive. Today I'm going to be using Arts Glitter Glue. If you're curious what my favorite adhesives are and what I use frequently, go ahead and go over. There's a video on my channel, and you can watch what my favorite things to use are. And it's helpful for everyone. Speaking of gluing something down, we want to make sure it gets as smooth as possible, so you're going to need your brayer. This is one from Paper Studio. Again, it's in that favorites video. What else are you going to need? Well, I'm going to need this ruler. It's a Fiskars clear ruler. No. It's a Judykins clear ruler. Never heard of the brand. I've had this since 2011. 2011. I'm also going to keep a pair of small snips. I never know when I need them. These are obviously the Tim Holtz, the smallest he makes. We are going to be using a piece from the Dapper cardstock collection. This is Tim Holtz. Again, my challenge is to use all Tim Holtz items. So that is my goal. The photo that we're going to be using for this piece of art is here. This is from the newest pack of the Found Relatives. I have the original 2 packs of Found Relatives. I found them today. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought I'd share that. This is a journal card from the Tim Holtz Journal Ideaology journal cards. It is the, let me pull my ruler up here. It is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And if you look, he kind of fits really nicely on there. And I'm debating of putting him in there. And then this is a piece from the collector's pack. I was originally going to do him with a tobacco theme, but I found this. And I was like, yeah, I really like that. So I thought that all kind of went really well together. And you're going to need, in order to pop some of those up, you're going to need 3D foam squares. I call them dimensionals. That's when I was running the scrapbook store I used to work at, we called these dimensionals. So they're just your 3D foam squares. This one has small and large. They're black, unfortunately. We'll make do with what we've got. So you'll also need, I am going to be using this Distress Oxide and Black Soot. I think I'm going to try to antique the frame a bit with this. And I'm going to also be using my Distress Ink Walnut Stain, which is my favorite. And obviously I have a dauber for it and a silicone sponge for the black. The reason I use a silicone sponge for the black is it does not distort the black's color. I found with these silicone sponges, they distort the color of the Distress Ink and they turn it green, which I'm not a fan of. So I still use these daubers with the, that you can change things out of. And I may use the walnut stain distress oxide. I'm not sure yet. Like I said, this is a craft along with me. So let's go ahead and get things moved and started. So we can go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I've measured this baseboard and it's a 4.5 by 6.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my Fiskars rotary cutter, and I'm going to cut this to 4.5 by 6.5. And let me remove the other frame. So let me pull out my cutter. And this is an older cutter, but it's still pretty useful. So I really like it. So what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to cut my 4.5 this way and my 6.5 this way. Well, I'm going to cut it 4.5 and then 6.5. So we are going to start here at 4.5. And I'm going to cut this piece of paper down. So you'll still have a nice large scrap left. And I was initially going to use this. I thought this was really cool. So we may still end up trying to incorporate it somewhere. I'm just not sure yet where. And then I'm going to go to the 6.5 mark right here. Alright. And so now we can take our cutter, and that should be, unless I change my mind, that should be all the cutting I need to do, really, because everything else I have is pre-cut. So as you can see, I've just gone ahead and laid that piece of paper there, and it looks nice and plenty dirty already, plenty antiqued. So but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here distress ink, and I am just going to distress along the edges of this piece of paper to give it a bit more character. I like distress ink. I use it quite a lot. So here we go. And if I want an area darker, like I want this area a little bit darker here, I just tend to use round motions. That way you don't get, because sometimes when you use these, if you just stamp it like this, you'll get round marks. If you kind of make circular motions, you can kind of avoid that. If that makes absolutely any sense. But see, I'm able to create a softer edge by doing those little circular motions. Okay. Alright, I think I like the way that looks. Even though you won't see it, I'll know it's there. And I've gone in a little bit on the edge. What you can always do is you can do that circular motion in a bit. So you get the distress ink actually in more. And see how nice that's already looking? It looks like very distressed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Arts glitter glue and I'm going to spread it over the entire back piece. Don't go really heavy-handed with this glue. I have the metal tip on mine, so it's a little bit thinner. Let me move these guys out of the way so you can see more what I'm doing. And here, as you can see, I'm just squirting the glue on the back. Try to make sure you get as close to the edge as possible. You can always wipe your edges off. I will probably do so with my fingers because that's what I do. But see, I'm covering the paper pretty good with adhesive. I want to make sure that this sticks down and doesn't peel up. And then I just always put the pin back in my glue. So if I knock the glue over, it's less likely to spill. Okay. And now I'm going to align this the way I want. Down. And then I'm going to manipulate this so that it covers the edges fully. I want to make sure it's on there the best that I can. Okay. And now that it's on there, I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to run my brayer over the top. Just to make sure that the paper is really good and adhered. And you still have a little bit of play with it. See, it's a little off on this corner, so I'm going to manipulate it with my fingers so it moves to the proper edge. And there we go. So now we have that glued on. The next thing that we want to do is we're going to want to glue the frame on so we know where our art can sit. So I am going to use, believe it or not, Art's glitter glue. It does a pretty good job at holding on. Doesn't that look neat? I almost just want to leave it alone, but I'm not going to. So again, actually, let's not do that first. Okay. Let's play with this Distress Oxide up here. This is black soot. And I'm going to, oh, I may have messed that totally up. Ah! Hey, that kind of looks neat. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the side of the silicone sponge and to kind of dampen, to dye down the brightness of the gold to make it look more antiqued, I'm simply taking the distress ink and I'm stamping it on, and see how it makes this real dark edge? Well, I don't want that, so I'm going to actually use the edge of my sponge and I'm going to wipe that off, and it's just going to help me dull down this gold a bit, which is what I want. I want it to look like a truly Victorian photo frame. And seeing as I live in a giant Victorian house, I want this as a piece of art in my home. So I'm going to just dip into this with the silicone sponge and dab on, making sure I use the silicone sponge to wipe off so I don't go too heavy-handed on antiquing this. Because I don't want it to look, you know, I want it to look antique. I don't want it to look like a hot mess. So I'm just going to play with this a little bit and we'll see how it comes out in just a moment. I'm going to wipe this ink down a little bit. And I'm kind of pleased with it. I want to put some down here to kind of dull this gold down a hair. I mean, it was a duller gold shade to begin with, but I want it to look more antiqued. So I think that's working. let me set that back in frame. I'm really liking the way this is working. So dip my hair back in. Oh, that was really heavy-handed, Michelle. Oh boy. Let's get that off. And then we'll just do a little bit in here and wipe. And then we'll do some on the edges as well. Wipe it down. The nice thing about paint, and the nice thing about this is if you don't like it, you can paint over it. I just want to, you know, kind of make it feel more vintage, and I think that did it. I love that. So I took the black soot, as you saw, and I used the whole sponge, which now I'm going to have to wash the sponge, and I put it all over the frame. So now my frame, whereas, let me find the other frame. Where did you go? Nope. Nope. Where did it go? Where is my other frame? I know it's here. It's here somewhere. It was more bright. So I like the way that this looks, and I think I'll do it on both of them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue again, and I'm going to spread it really liberally on the back of this. If you feel like this is not going to hold yours on, you can use super glue. You're just going to have to be really careful. But for what I want, I'm pretty sure this will work. I've used Art's glitter glue on a lot of different things. So let me pull out my pen, because it's clogged a little bit. And then I'll put my pen down. And I want to get the glue on this as fast as possible because I want to get it glued down. And with this, you can use the brayer, but you're going to want to be very gentle with it because you could damage your frame. I'm probably just going to push it down with my fingers because I'm afraid, knowing me and my luck, I will damage this beautiful frame. So I'm just going to continue to Squeeze out glue if it'll come out. Oh no, are we clogged? I don't need you to be clogged. There we go. I'll just put the pen back in there. That's what the pen is for, is to prevent clogging. And see, it's just clogging, so. Oh, come on out, glue. And sometimes this happens with me. It just clogs up for a bit, and you just take your pen and you put it back in, but you want to try to get this done as quick as possible. Oh my goodness. There we go. That sometimes helps too, is cracking that seal. I don't know if you heard that, but Arts Glitter Glue is a really good glue. And it sticks to itself sometimes. Let's keep going on that. Alright, let's see if this will stick. It should. And then you just kind of want to set it down. Get it manipulated where it covers this. As you can see, it is now glued down. So now we have the frame itself completed. So now that I've done that, I'm going to actually close the Distress Ox, the black up, because I'm not going to be using it again, I'm pretty sure. And I'm going to take out the journaling card. That's the next piece I'm going to use. And I am just going to distress the edge of that really nicely. And since I'm going to be laying the picture flat against it, the portrait that I chose to use for this one, I will just go ahead and glue these two together. But I am actually going to take, let me move him into frame. I am actually going to take some of the Distress Oxide in the walnut stain color. And I am actually going to ink his photo because I think this will stay better. Is that clean? Let me think. That is burlap. Sorry. I am trying to determine which one I had walnut stain on. So I'm just going to take this dauber and I'm just going to rub it over that pad. And I am going to... Oh boy. That may not have been the right color for him. Alright, well. If you don't like it, luckily this is shiny enough that I can wipe it off. So I think that the walnut stain is not the right color. So I think I'm going to go back in with that black soot. So I'm going to open that black soot back up thinking, oh, I'm done. I don't need it. And I'm just going to lightly ink those edges just for a little bit of texture. Yeah, that's much better, I think. All right. And his edges are lightly inked. So now I'm going to determine where I want to place him. And this is where I'm going to bring the frame back over into frame. Haha. And I'm going to just start laying him down. Do I want him in this corner? And then this way I can put this in there and dimensional it? Or do I want to dimensional him and then put this up on a double dimension? Or do I want that flat? And do I want him to be on a dimension? So it's just now figuring out what I want to do. So, and see, now I'm like, maybe I don't want that piece. So I have a piece that is actually, sorry, I didn't mean to bump that. A vintage cigar wrapper, and I'm thinking I'm liking it more. And I think I kind of want to do him like this, and then think like that, and then I have my I have the stickers, the word stickers here, and I'm not sure. I really like that though. I really like that. And then maybe I will Look at these. I'm looking at these quietly. I apologize. I don't know if these are right. Sweet, you smell like drama and a headache. Please get away from me. Oh, these are funny. Why limit happy to an hour? It's a beautiful day to leave me alone. I meant to behave. You're crazy. You might want to tuck that back in. Where's the unsubscribe button on adulthood? A penny for your thoughts seems a little pricey. My favorite thing to do is make for dinner reservations. Let's see what these are. What these say. Get the original and knowledge costs nothing. As you can see, I really love these stickers. I use them a lot. I like the storyteller. I don't know why I like that sticker, but I think that might end up being on here. I also like this, the idea of now is the time, challenge the world. So put now is the time, challenge the world. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, now I have to decide what I want to put up on dimensions. I think I'm going to put him up on dimensions and the cigar wrapper on dimensions. So, I need to remove him from his frame. And as you can see, it is actually a journaling card, but I decided to use it in this piece because I liked it. So, I am just going to adhere this down. So yeah, so you can see I'm using that Arts glitter glue again. That art glitter glue. It's not arts. It's art glitter glue. This is, you can find on Amazon, and I got it and a big bottle for, I think, and the tip and a pen for it for $16, I believe. So, not horribly expensive, and it's one of the best glues on the market, I think. So, there we have that glued down. And I'm going to take that pen that was in my mouth, because I instinctively want to keep a hold of it, so I just stick it in my mouth. Sometimes I'll stick it in my table. Well, not in the table, in the mat on the table. Alright, where's my dimensionals? Where did you guys go? You couldn't have gone very far. This is what happens when you work in chaos. You become chaos. Right, there are those stickers. I have a few, but I would like my... Oh, there they are. And there's the other frame. Now, here's the comparison. Here we go. I found the other frame. See how this is really bright and metallic, and this is kind of dulled down? I really like that. I really, really like this piece. This has turned into be a neat piece. Alright, now let's find those scissors. Here they are. Pardon my reach. And right here, I'm just going to cut this packaging open with these Tim Holtz snips. And I am going to pull out the larger of the dimensionals to put on the back of him. So what I am going to do, I'm going to move that frame out of frame. Ha ha. Again. I am going to just take this little guy here, and I'm just going to stick him on the back. Make sure you put a few in the middle, or I'll get two. That was nice. I got two instead of one. You really want to make sure that if you're going to do this, you put a few in the middle. Otherwise, when you make your piece of art, it can crease in the middle if you press on it or you bump it on accident. So make sure you are putting dimensionals in the middle of it. You can go around all the sides and only put 1 or 2 in the middle, but you want to make sure you have that support there too. So... And as you can see, I never lay mine perfectly. I try to, and I am just not the best at that. So, all right, we're going to put them all the way around. As you can see, you're just gonna stick them on there. They're nice and sticky. They're nice and sticky as it sticks to my thumb. They're very sticky. So sometimes you have to watch. Because they will stick to everything. And see, I'm never perfect about it. And then what I want to do is, see, I have this middle area. I'm going to put, I think, 3 down the middle. Okay. And there is that. And then I'm going to take, see, then you peel the other side off. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to keep peeling because that's what you got to do. So, and then you see I've made a little pile of them, and then those will just be swept into the trash can when I'm finished. Alright, and then we are going to, some of those are sticking off. If they're sticking out, like a couple of these are, you can trim them. They're very easy to trim. I'm just going to take these scissors and I'm just going to trim off the pieces that are visible because I don't want to be able to see my dimensionals. Then what I want to do is I want to I'm going to pull that frame back down so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I'm trying to get the glare off his face. And I'm going to just gently set that down. And then I'm going to look at it. And I think he's pretty centered. So then I'm going to just gently rub him. And he will adhere. And then what I want to do is I want this to go across the bottom of the picture. So I'm going to take the thing of smaller dimensionals, and I have a half a sheet here that I've used for another project. And I'm going to take those and I'm going to put this dimensional up this band on him. And I'm not, since it's not going to the very edges, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put 2 dimensionals on the very edges just to be on the safe side. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this back into frame. And as you can see, I'm using a partial sheet. We're going to move him off again. Okay, go and stick on that and not me. The problem with having long nails in paper crafting, but I've liked to have my nails look pretty good. So, and see, I just bumped these and they'll stick to each other. And they're real easy. They'll just, if you pull real gentle, you can usually peel them off of each other just like that. So I'm just going, don't stick to me, stick to the paper. I'm just going to continue to lay down these dots, or these dimensionals. That's what they're called. And sometimes, let me clean the piece off my scissors. Sometimes I'll take the point of my scissors and use them to help me. So I'll take it underneath, and then I can lay this piece down better. That's pretty helpful. So I'll just take the point of those scissors and I'm not doing it hard. I'm doing it just enough that it'll stick. And then that one went real wonky, so I'm going to try to maneuver it. Until you push it fully down, you have some maneuverability of them. All right, so let's go ahead and put, okay, I did that wrong. I'm going to take this piece off, the little piece of paper, and then I'm going to stick the next dimensional onto my fingertip. I'm going to take the next dimensional and I'm just going to literally just stick it on there. I'm going to do the same on this end, I think. Or not. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to set that down. Let me pull him down, and I'm going to set this down. And see, by adding those two dimensionals, I made it the right height for him. And I don't see any black. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and gently pull off these backs again, because otherwise they're not sticky. And we're just going to put them in this here pile. And we're just going to keep peeling the little tops off. It is time consuming to do this, but it adds something to it. So, and then we're going to set those down, and there that is. Alright, so there is our canvas. So then another idea I have, let me reach behind me and grab. So you'll notice I store a lot of things in these clear containers. You get them at the Dollar Tree in the tools section. They're actually meant for like nails and things, but Tim Holtz packaging can be kind of bulky, so I've just kind of decanted my pieces into these, and I think they're in here. So let me set this, let me move the canvas back out, and then I'm going to move the trash out of view. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this, and I'm going to go through these and see what one if I want to use one of these instead of the stickers. Dream as if you'll live forever. Life is about creating yourself. Live in the moment. The journey awakens the soul. Capture life's moments. I think I have 2 packages of these in here. Whoops. I'll put those back in there. Let's see. What's this one say? The journey awakens the soul. Encourage your hopes, not your fears. That one might be good, so we'll set that aside. Dream as if you'll live forever. Embrace imperfection. I might set that one aside too. Let's see. Enjoy the journey. Encourage your hopes, not your fears. Capture life's moments. Live the life you've imagined. Possibility begins with imagination. Reality has limits. Know in your heart that you are loved. Alright, so let's just move these guys out of the way again. And I've put them back. And I actually don't need these inks, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lids on them. I'm going to set that back away, and I'm going to move this out of the way and this out of the way. And I'm going to move all that out of the way, and I'm going to find my scissors. And the Tim Holtz scissors come with these little caps, so I just keep it on there so I don't damage them. All right, so let's look at these on here and see what we think. I don't know. Let me dump that one out. I think I want this on the other one. I think I do want that one. So I think I'm going to go with the encourage your hopes, not your fears. And I didn't think I'd like that, but I really kind of like the way this has turned out. So to keep that from running off the page, I'm going to go reach over in my basket of adhesives and pull the stuff off my arm, and I'm going to grab my score tape out, and I'm just going to grab this, and I'm going to just stick this directly on the metal piece because it'll hold it. All right. And now what I want to do is I want to take the tip of my scissors and see if we can get the edge of this to come up or not. There we go. Okay, now there's adhesive on the back of that. It's kind of sticky. So I'm just gonna let me manipulate this until I like it. Wow, I like that. Now this is done. So for me, I like this piece as it is, and I think I'm going to keep it as it is. I really, really liked this. Now, comment down below if you think I should add bling, or if you think this needs anything. I think it looks pretty good as is. I really like it. I'm really proud of this piece. I think it's a beautiful piece of art. But let me know your thoughts and opinions, because everybody sees things differently. And so on my next episode of Make With Me, I think I'm going to call it Make With Me. We're going to remove that. And let me reach up over here and grab my pieces. So my next video will be this lovely young lady, who definitely needs to be put in a frame now. I apologize for the glare. It's the lights in here. But as you can see, she's really beautiful. She looks like one of Queen Victoria's daughters. I mean, her face reminds me, I think, of Princess Louise. So, but I think she's going to go on this. But I think I'm going to cover the modern up. And I'm going to go add this on there and this rose maybe, or maybe I will leave that and just, or maybe I'll even flip it over because the back is like a pattern. And then she covers up most of that circle. And then I can put the roses and that. Let me move it up so you can see it. And then the Embrace Imperfection on this paper. Well, we'll play with it in the next video, but I really hope that you guys come back. This is, like I said, my first Make With Me video on this channel. So my next one obviously will be the set, and then I will show the set off. As soon as we hit 25 subscribers, I'm going to be posting a giveaway. I am going to send out some thing I made, and maybe we'll put it on the channel. We'll see. I'll show you real quick just so you can see one. I think I'm going to make a couple of these and send them to a subscriber. So make sure if you enjoy my videos that you are subscribed so you can enter this giveaway. These are glassine bags, obviously, and I have inked mine, but it makes a pocket here. And then I put paper in it. So it is a little mini journal. See? And she become one. It was a wedding one that I made. I thought it was super cute. It's very vintage, and I actually made this one for a friend of mine. So maybe if we get enough subscribers, we'll be posting that giveaway sooner rather than later. So I hope you come back for the second part of this video. And as always, happy crafting.